Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to cover ipywidgets. So ipywidgets are used to add some interactivity with the charts that we create in the notebook. Usually, the charts that created are static in nature. So with the help of ipywidgets, we can add some interactivity. What I mean is that we can provide some input and at the runtime, we can see our charts get dynamically created based on the inputs that we are providing. Okay, so first thing we have to do, we have to install the ipywidgets using pip install ipywidgets, and then we need to enable the extension in the Jupyter notebook using Jupyter NB extension enable hyphen hyphen py, then widgets NB extension. So once this ipywidget is installed and extension is enabled in the Jupyter notebook, now we are good to go to create interactive chart in the Jupyter notebook. So first thing, I'm just importing the libraries as usual, matplotlib.pyplot, splt, numpy is np, and matplotlib as mpl, and setting percentage matplotlib as inline. Okay, and also specifying the figure size as rc params so that all the figures are generated with the size of 6,4. Now, ipywidgets is what we had installed in the step one. From this, we are going to import interact, interactive, fixed, and man interact underscore manual. This will allow us to interact with the charts, at the runtime. And I'm also importing ipywidgets as widgets. Okay, so this is fine. This is what we have to do before we create the interactive charts. Now, our first interactive chart uh, is a line plot. If you see, this is a line plot. What we are doing in this plot, we have created a function f in which we are passing a variable x, and we are plotting a line plot. In the line plot on the x-axis, we have a fixed values between 1 to 9 using np.range. Okay. Now on the y-axis, uh, there is x plus this random function. What it does, it whatever value we are passing to this function, that value is x, and to that value some random value gets added, and then it is displayed. So this is the basic function f. So how do we create an interactive chart? What we have to do, we have to say interact, and within the interact we have to pass the function name. This function is f, and the value of the parameter that the function is expecting. So I'm passing x equals to 10. So this will create an interactive chart. So if I run this, so it creates this. So on the x-axis, we can see the values are coming from 1 to 9 based on this np dot a range, and on the y-axis, what we are seeing is we are passing the value of x, which is 10. 10 gets added to some random value, and that gets displayed. Now let's say if we change the value of x, keeping all other things the same, we are changing the value of x, and if you see, x gets changed to 12, x gets changed to 15, and accordingly at the runtime, dynamically our chart gets rebuilt. So this is what the interactivity I was talking about, where we can pass the values at the runtime and we will get our new chart created. So what you see that we don't have to run this code again and again. It's just that using this ipywidgets interact, we are able to interact with the chart at the runtime by passing the values. Now let's take another example in which we have a data which is of size 3000. It has values between 16 and 36. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to create a histogram, and since in we know that in a histogram we have the number of bins, and based on the number of bins, the shape of the histogram gets changed. Okay, if you have, uh, I mean, lesser bins or the higher bin, or lesser bins or more bins, and accordingly the distribution would look different. So we have a function f in which we are passing x, and x is what? X is the number of bins, and we are plotting a histogram using plt.hist. Data is what we are using from above. This is here we create the data. This is data we are using. So this data will be used for plotting the histogram. Bins equals to x. So bins equals to x is variable. Okay. So this is what we are getting as an input to the function, and edge color is white. So if you see this edge color, now if I run this, now before running this, what we are doing is we are again calling the interact, and within interact calling the first argument is the function name which we have created f, and the second argument is the value. So value is x equals to 5 comma 20 comma 5. In the previous example we pass the value of x equals to 10, if you see. Now let's say if we want to limit the value of x, that is we want to give the starting point and the ending value, and also we want to specify the step size, that is on each click how the value should change. So that we can give it like this. So x equals to, so within bracket we are specifying the starting value is 5, the final value is 20, and with each click the jump should be of 5 units, that is x should change from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and so on. So let's run this. So we got this histogram, and if you see currently x equals to 10, and if I change the number of bins from, let's say I move it further. Okay, system is hang. Okay, my system actually got hang. So let me continue. So x equals to 15, 20. So based on the values, so minimum value is 5. Yeah. So you see 5 bins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you, with each click, the value will keep on increasing. Let's say got 10. So we got number of bins is 10. So based on the number of bins, you can see the distribution, histogram distribution looks different. Yeah. So in this way, what we are doing is, let's say you create a chart, and you want to provide some interactivity to the users at the runtime so that the user can choose the number of bins. Okay, so and accordingly they can understand how the actual data looks like. Now in this what we are displaying a histogram, and with the bin size which is variable based on the input that we are providing, and each bar, if you see, has an edge color white. So another thing what we can do is we can add one more interactivity. If we want, we can display or hide this edge color. So what we are doing is, in this function f, I'm passing x like the previous case, which represents the number of bins, and I'm passing one more variable which is show edge color. So if this value is true, then I'm displaying the edge color as white. If this is not true, then while plotting the histogram, I'm just simply ignoring the edge color. So again, calling the function f within the interact. So in interact, I have to specify function name, which is f, and the first parameter is x, which represents the number of bins, and I'm setting the values of x between 5 and 20. The step size of 5, and the this show edge color I'm passing it as by default true. So by default, it will show you the edge color. So if I run this, it is showing the edge color. So if you see, x is coming with the value 10, and there is a show edge color which represents a tick mark. Now if I untick it, then the edge color will go away. So this is a boolean value that we are passing. So based on this boolean value, true or false, for this edge color, we will see the edge color. Okay, and again we can change the number of bins to between 5 and 20 at the step size of 5, and again if you want, we can take off the edge color. So that's another interactivity that we can give, whether we want to display the edge color or not for the histogram. Now let's take one more example. What we are doing, we are also, let's say we want to uh, customize the title of the plot. So we have a plot in which again it's the same thing, we are plotting the histogram just like the previous case, and we are passing the bin size using x, which can be between 5 and 20. The next parameter we are passing is edge color, which can be true or false if we want to display the edge color or not. And the another thing that we are passing is plot title. So by default, I'm passing the plot title as histogram. Okay. Now within this code, again we are using plt.title, and whatever value we are passing, plot underscore title is displayed. Now if we run this, it by default it displays a histogram. If we want, we can change the title of the plot. Let's say sometimes there is a requirement that users don't like the title that we have given to a plot, then we can change it. We can say distribution of age. So it just simply, so whatever value that user wants to give in this box, that value will be displayed as a title to this chart. Okay, so another interactivity we can do is, let's say take another example. We want to, I'm just taking a simple example of a line which we know is a line equation is y equals to mx plus c, and let's say we want to mm, keep one variable fixed and another variable uh, changing between some range. So we have a function f in which I'm passing m and c, and x and y are x is a value between 1 to 10, and y is mx plus c. M and c is what we are passing to this function, and after that I'm just simply plotting the line plot. Now in the interact, I'm passing f, which is the name of the function. M is a value, M can have value between -2 and 2. The step size is 0.5, and C is fixed. So this is something that this is the new term that we are learning here. If you have to fix a value of any variable, then you have to specify this keyword fixed, and within that fixed, we have to pass the value, whatever value you want to fix it. So if I run this, yeah, so this goes the equation of the line because currently M is 0. So there is no slope to it. Let's say we can add bit m. So we have changed the m to 0.5, so we get different line. So in this way we can add the interactivity to one variable and keeping other variable as fixed. Let's say one more thing we want to change is we want to change the color of whenever we create a chart, it has some color in it. Let's say we want to give options to the users, whether they want to see the color blue, green, uh, red. So we can also provide that sort of interactivity to the users. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a function f in which again it's a question of line. I'm passing m and c like earlier. Another thing that I'm passing is color, which based on this color, the color of that line will change. So again, and during the plotting, I'm just using plt.plot x comma y and c equals to color. So whatever the color is, based on that, the line of the plot will be colored. Okay. Now, how do we? Our requirement is we have to give kind of a drop down list to user. So because it will be a list in which there will be few color names mentioned, so we have to first create a list. So I'm just creating a list of colors: red, blue, green, and then we have to just simply call the interact. So within interact, f is the first function, m is what we are passing between -2 and 2 at the step of 0.5, c is we are keeping it fixed at for the value 10. Now color is basically equals to colors. So this colors is the list of the colors that we have created here, and we are passing a list of colors to it. Okay. Now if we run it, we get this like this. So by default, it is picking red color. Now if you want, we can change the color to, let's say, blue or green or whatever values we have specified in this list. So this gives a very good option to the users to change the color of the plot at the runtime, based on whatever the color they want to display. Sometimes they have a specific preference. Okay. Now let's say we want to provide some more interactivity where what we are asking users to select some values which look like an English word. Okay. But on the back end, at the time of creation the chart, that English word gets translated into some number, and using that number we are building the chart. Okay. So let's say we have a dictionary in which we dictionary called as powers, in which we are specifying the keyword and the value. So square is 2, cube is 3, just simple representation. And again, the function f, in which we are passing value n. So x is a range of values between 1 to 9, and y is x to the power n. So whatever value that we are passing, that will be used as the power of x to create the value of y, and then we are plotting x comma y. Now again, during the interact, we are passing first as a function, and second value n is equals to powers, which represents the dictionary. So in this case, we are giving this dictionary. So what happens, this dictionary gets translated into its actual value. So if you see here, we are not specifying here 2 or 3, we are giving the option to select square or cube. So these are the English words, okay? From the user's perspective, these are the English words. Uh, and at the back end, what we are doing is we are converting those English words into the respective number using this dictionary, and that is used to create the value of y and accordingly plot it. So these are the couple of ways in which we can add interactivity in our charts using ipywidgets. We can give the multiple options to users to select, let's say, a bin width in case of histogram, the color that they want to display, and the different input values and the fixed value. So these are the different ways in which we can add some more interactivity and give more flexibility to the users. So based on which they can make a choice and play around with the charts. So that's it for now in this tutorial. Thank you.